largest internal angle, inside angle. So if you look at, for the regular shapes, size of an internal angle increases with the number of sides. So in this particular case, let's have a look at all these shapes that we got. So we got this first shape, pentagon, then we have W, which is a triangle, then we have X, which is a hexagon, then we have Y, which is a rectangle, and then we have Z, if you kind of like turn it around, it will kind of look like a square as well. So in this case, I would say the shape contains the largest internal angle is going to be C, which is this hexagon here. And the reason it's going to be C is firstly because it's a regular shape. Regular shape means that this particular shape has 6 sides, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that are exactly the same length. Okay, so any irregular shape will have 6 sides, but the 6 sides will be slightly different lengths. Now for regular shapes, the size of an internal angle increases. These are internal angles. Internal angles mean inside the shape. For regular shapes, the size of an internal angle increases with the number of sides. So the more the sides in a shape, the bigger the internal angle. I'll repeat that one more time. So the more internal angles in a shape, the bigger the internal angle. I hope that makes sense. So we're going for C for this particular purpose, and X will be our answer. All right, so let's go on to the next question, which is question number 4. So there are 60 pencils in a case, 18 of them are blue and 30 are red. Mary selects pencils from the case at random. What is the probability that the pencil Mary selects is neither red nor blue? Choose the correct answer in this case. Okay, let's work it out this way. Now you might have your own ways of working this out, which is absolutely fine. Okay, there's nothing wrong as long as you know what you're doing, but just follow me as well, please. Okay, so 60 pencils altogether. 18 of them are blue. So let's take away 18. And then 30 are red. Let's take away 30 as well. Let's work that out. So 60 take away 18, take away 30 gives us 12. Now, how many pencils altogether? 60 pencils altogether, of which is neither red nor blue. So 12 out of 60 will be our answer. Do you remember what I did with the previous question? I simplified it. So shall we try and simplify this one as well? Okay, so which number can divide into 12 and 60? Let's go for 12. So 12 goes into 12 once, and 12 goes into 60 5 times. So in this case, 1/5 pencils that Mary selects are neither red nor blue. All right. So in this case, 1/5 will be the correct answer, which is E. Let's move on to question number 5. So question number 5, half of the shape and its line of symmetry are shown in the figure below. Which of the following best describes the complete shape? Now, let's have a look at how many sides in the shape, first of all. So we have 1, 2, 3. So if you were to, let's say, for example, complete the rest of the shape like this, but just as a very rough example, okay? So we will then have 6 sides in total. We'll have 6 sides in total. Now, which shape is a 6-sided shape? A hexagon is actually a 6-sided shape. So, but in this case, the 6 sides of the hexagon are different lengths. Now, if you have a hexagon with 6 sides that are different lengths, what is that actually called? It's called an irregular hexagon. A regular hexagon will have 6 sides exactly the same length, whereas an irregular hexagon will have 6 sides which are completely different lengths. All right. So in this case, we've got if you were to complete the symmetry like a mirror image on the other side, you'll also have 3 more sides, and that makes up to 6 sides, and that's a regular hexagon. So B will be our correct answer. And question number 6, 1 packet of bird food weighing 750 grams feeds 20 birds for a month. What weight of bird food is needed to feed 180 birds for a month? Now, you know, when you come across these questions, I would actually read each question at least 3 times. At least 3 times. Because when you come to read the question with these word problem questions, when you come to read the question for the first time, it doesn't always make sense. And you have to read it at least minimum 3 times or even more just to break down the question and what it means. So in this case, what we're trying to do is we're trying to work out the weight of bird food is needed to feed 180 birds for a month. So first of all, we have 180 divided by 20, which gives us 9. And then what we can do is we can do 750 grams, multiply that by 9, which gives us 6,750 grams. Okay, so what we're trying to work out is the weight of the bird food for 180 birds. We already know for 20 birds, it will weigh 750 grams. But how much will it actually weigh for 180 grams? So what we're trying to do is, how many times does 20 go into 180? It goes in 9 times. And then we just multiply 9 by 750. And that gives us 6,750 grams. How many grams in 1 kilogram? So 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. In 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. Please make sure that you revise your measurements as well. So because we don't have an answer that shows us 6,750 grams, how do we turn it into kilograms? How do we actually turn this answer into kilograms? We just divide it by 1,000. Divide it by 1,000. And what do we do with the decimal point when we divide by 1,000? We move the decimal point to the left when we divide by 1,000 because 1,000 has 3 zeros. So let's do this. So invisible decimal, 1, 2, and 3. And that gives us 6.750, but you don't need the 0 at the end, but I'll just stick it in at the end anyway. So in this case, 6.75 kilograms. And our answer in this case is going to be A, 6.75 kilograms. Okay. Remember, you can go through this again afterwards in the recorded lessons, which I'll show you at the end as well. Okay, which of the following is not a prime number? So remember that a prime number can only be divided by 1 and itself. A prime number can only be divided by 1 and itself. So in this case, I'll go for D as the actual answer. Because 111, there's no other number that can divide into it. So which of the following is not a prime number? So let's have a look at the first one, 41. Which other numbers can divide into 41? 2, 3, 5, 7, etc. They can. So we'll just leave 41. 47. So we're looking at not a prime number, remember? Not a prime number. Okay, this one we can as well. 79 we can as well. 101 we can as well. But if you did 111, if we were to divide that by 3, that gives us 37. So let's divide that by 3. So 3 goes into 11 3 times, because 3 times 3 is 9. Remainder 2. How many times can 3 go into 21? 7 times. That means this is not a prime number, whereas the other numbers are prime numbers. And question number 8. What fraction of 1 week is 36 hours? So what we need to do first of all is, how many hours in a day? Let's write this down. There are 24 hours in 1 day. 24 hours in 1 day. So how many hours in a week? Let's do 7 days in a week multiplied by 24 gives us 168 hours. So in a week, we have 168 hours. And now we need to find out what the fraction is. So let's just write down here 168. And let's put 36 hours on top. Again, we just need to simplify. How many times have you come across that question simplify in this test so far? 3 times already. So it's very important that we know how to simplify. So what numbers can go into 36 and 168? So this takes a little bit of time. So, you know, with a pen and paper or a pencil and paper or a pad, you really have to hone in your working out skills, all right? You really have to do a lot of working out for these questions one by one. So let's try this. So how many times can 12 go into 36? 12 goes into 36 3 times, because 3 times 12 is 36. 12 goes into 168 14 times. Okay, so our answer is 3 over 14. Now you don't have to simplify by 12. You can simplify by 2, by a different number, entirely 6, for example. It's entirely up to you. But I'm just simplifying by 12 just so that we can get to the answer quickly. So the answer is 3 over 14. Okay, and that's our fraction, because remember the question says work out the fraction. With this one, the graph shows the number of calls received by a fire station over 24 hours. At what time did a steep increase in the number of calls begin? So we're looking at this steep particular increase. Now, if you look at the chart here, let's have a look. Let me just point it out to you. Can you see from here to there? That's where the steep increase actually began. So I would actually say that the answer is going to be 6 a.m. So 6 a.m. in this case. Because it's you might be asking, but how do you know it's a.m.? Well, because can you see here, it's a 24-hour clock, 24-hour time. So we know that 0.66 stands for 6 a.m. on a 24-hour clock. So in this case, let's go for option D, which is 6 a.m. And the last one, the table below shows the battery life of different mobile phones. What is the mode battery life of a mobile phone? So a mode battery life, let's just write this down just in case you forgot. Mode is the most popular or common or highest number. So mode means the most popular or the most common or the highest number. Now remember, we're looking for battery life here. Battery life, that's the key word. So if you look at battery life for 2 hours, it gives us 18 number of mobile phones. So there were 18 mobile phones that had a battery life of 2 hours. That means 2 hours is going to be our mode because it has the biggest number right next to it. So in this case, we're going to go for 2 as our answer here. Okay. Very good. Let's go to non-verbal reasoning. I think it is the next one, and we'll leave the spellings, the easiest bit, to the end. All right. So let's go to test 4. Let's go for test 4. Okay, so in this case, the following 2 figures are similar in some way. Decide which figure is most similar to the following 2 images. So we've got examples of 2 ovals on the top left-hand side, and we're looking at another plain white oval on the top right-hand side as well. All right, let's go for let's go to Ebenezer for this one.
Hi.
Hi Ebenezer, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good.
Very good. Would you like to go through this one with us?
Oh, yes.
Go ahead.
So, if you look at the examples given at the top, the square and the circle, you can see the square, the first square at the top, it's going like, it's not going downwards, but it's going like diagonal. And the other one is the opposite side of that, but just pushed down. And
Yeah.
it was the same one as the circle. So if we look through it, it has to be, the top one has to be on the left, and it has to have lines on it, and the last edge has to be on the bottom edge of the right one, of the left one, I mean. And so if you look, A can't be that because it has 2 of the same lines. B can't do that because it's not on the top left. C can definitely not do that because it has no lines. D can do that because it's the same pattern as the ones on the top. And E can't do that, so it's definitely D.
Let's go for D. I think you're right, Ebenezer. We're done for that. Good lad. Do you want to try this one as well?
Yes.
I'll give you a hint. Should I help you with this one?
Yes, please.
Okay, so in this one, each figure on the left consists of a equilateral triangle. So can you see that triangle, the first triangle on the left? That's an equilateral triangle. That means
I think I know it.
Okay, go ahead.
Is it E?
Why is it going to be E?
Because if you look at it, they're all equilateral triangles, and they only have one tip. So
Well,
I think it's E.
Good explanation. Fantastic. Good lad. Thank you for that. Let's go on to the next one. So remember, the 2 figures are similar in some way. So decide the pattern in this case. So let me just go through this before I choose someone to answer this question. So for this particular question, question number 3, the figures on the left are identical, but the only difference is that they've been rotated. Now, rotated means that they've just been turned around like this or like this. Okay, so that's the only difference really. They've just been turned around, that's all. So what do we think this could be possibly? Anybody want to quite a few people raising their hands, so let's go to Hiba actually. Hello Hiba.
Hello.
Hi there, you right?
Yeah.
Good. Hiba, what do you think?
I think it's B because if you see the first one and the second one, the difference between them is rotated 90 degrees, I think. And then if it rotates 90 degrees again, and then it would be the long bit would be at the top, and the dot would still be in the corner.
Sure. Did you say B? Sorry.
Yeah, B.
B. Okay, if you look at this shape, B, Hiba, the one that I've selected.
Oh, it's C, sorry. C, I couldn't see this thing.
Okay, fantastic, all right. Because the dot is at the bottom, you've got that double line as well, and then that one line that's sticking out. Well done. Good girl. Thank you for that, Hiba. I better go to other people. They're waiting for me. So question number 4. For this one, let's go to Anaya for this one.
Hi.
Hi, Anaya. Are you right? So for this one, Anaya, I'll just go through something with you first, okay? In terms of 3. So each of the figures on the left, so if you look at the left-hand side, consists of a shaded semicircle. So can you see that first one that has those lines in?
Yeah.
So this one here. Each figure on the left consists of a shaded semicircle with an arc above. So arc is like this shape here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you see my, yeah? Okay, so this is a shaded semicircle. This is the arc. This is the shaded semicircle. This is the arc. And then on top of the arc, what do we have?
2 lines.
2 lines, right? So now we need to find a figure that's similar from A, B, C, D, or E. And they could be turned around as well. They could have been rotated as well, possibly, but yeah.
I think it might be E.
Did you say E?
Yes.
Okay, so if you look at this shape here, what do you start with?
Like a line semicircle.
Just a semicircle, right? But here, what do you start with?
2 lines.
So we're not looking for that. So we're looking for an answer that starts with a semicircle, starts with a semicircle. Yeah?
Yes.
Semicircle, arc, and 2 lines on top. Semicircle, arc, and 2 lines on top. And remember, the semicircle at the bottom is flat. At the bottom is flat. Can you see?
Yeah.
Semicircle at the bottom is flat, at the bottom is flat. Have another go. Take your time, there's no rush. Semicircle, arc, and 2 lines, yeah.
I think it's A.
Sounds good to me. Semicircle, arc, 2 lines, right?
Yeah.
Well done. There you go. Yeah. Good girl. Thank you for that, Nate. Okay, let's go on to the next question. And let's try and do this one together. So let me just go through this first. So question number 5. Question number 5 is, each figure on the left consists of 1 bold line with 4 fine lines. So let me just show you this. Let me highlight this. So 1 bold line. Can you see this bold line? And then you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines. So let's look at the next example. This one here. Bold line. And then you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 lines. So that's all we're looking for. 1 bold line, and then 4 fine lines. And with regards to the fine lines, cross the bold line twice. So the fine lines cross the bold line twice. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so in this case, I would say, let's go for E. 1 bold line, 4 fine lines, and the 2 fine lines cross the bold line twice. Okay, so E will be the answer in this case. Moving on to question number 6. The figures on the left are identical, but they've just been rotated. So rotated means turn around, turn around, turn around. Okay? So let's go to a student to answer this particular question. Okay, so let's go to Zoya for this one. Hi, Zoya, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What do you think?
I think it's B
Why do you think it's B?
because it's the most similar to the two examples on the top.
How is it similar? How do you think it's similar?
Because it like has the same shapes and lines in it and the correct order and placement.
Yeah, so the only difference is that it's just been turned around, but it's the right answer. Well done. Sounds good. So now moving on to question number 7. So let me just tell you how question 7 works. So each figure on the left consists of two matching shapes. The small shape overlaps the large shape, and only the overlapping area is shaded dark. So the two figures, as I said, are matching shapes, but the small shape overlaps the big shape, and the overlapping side is just shaded dark. Okay, let's go to Anam for this one.
Hi.
Anam, how are you?
Good.
Who's that sat next to you? What are you doing now?
I'm her cousin and I was at her house. So we had to do
So it's like 2 for 1. So 2 brains for 1.
that, kind of.
No wonder you're trying to answer all these questions and raising your hand every 2 minutes. Okay, that's good. It's very good to see both of you, by the way. Well done. And what do you think then, girls, for this one?
I think it's A.
A, okay, let me just select that one. And why do you think it's A?
It's because it's the same shape and then the white bit is sticking out of the shape.
Yeah. And the overlapping bit is shaded dark. Yeah. So overlapping bit is shaded. So well done for that. Good girls. And A is the correct answer. And while you're both here, and we have 2 for 1, so let's do the next one as well. Question number 8. So let me just go through question 8 with you quickly because it's a little bit complicated, this one. So for question 8, each figure on the left consists of 2 identically shaped semicircles, all right, with a rectangle in the middle. And that rectangle in the middle is like shaded, it's got lines in it. Each semicircle contains a small circle. Can you see that semicircle contains a small circle? So let me show you this. So this semicircle contains a small circle. 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 I'm sorry I keep on repeating myself. It's just that it's 4 semicircles. One small circle has a cross, this one here, and this one here. And the other small circle is shaded black. Yeah. So would you like to check which one this could be?
C? Yeah.
Say that one more time. Sorry, I lost you there.
C.
C, yes. C is going to be the correct answer. Well done. Okay, girls, thank you so much for that. Just mute yourself there. And let's just go on to the next one, which is question number 9. Let's just do this one together. So question number 9, each figure on the left consists of an arrow. Now this arrow is pointing anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise means to the left, okay? So each figure on the left consists of an arrow, and this particular arrow is pointing to the left-hand side with 2 parallel, perpendicular short lines at the end. Parallel means they're opposite sides, but they don't meet. Perpendicular means that you can make a right angle from them. And which shape do we think is going to be the similar one that we're looking for here? Let's go to Sabi for this one. Hello, Sabi.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Good, go ahead.
So there's supposed to be 2 lines on it. So it can't be E or B.
Mm-hmm.
And if the arrow has to be pointing to the left, so it can be D.
Let's have a look. So arrow pointing anti-clockwise, in other words, going to the left. With shape D, it's not going to the left. I think it's going to the right. So this is shape D. Can you see the arrows going to the right? It's not going anti-clockwise. What about this one? Is that going left? Yeah, it's going to the left.
Yeah.
It's pointing to the left direction, and at the same time with 2 parallel perpendicular short lines at the end. So these 2 lines at the end. Can you see these lines? These 2 lines. So they're parallel because they're opposite, and perpendicular means you can make a right angle out of them. All right. So that would be C. Let's do one last one together, Sabi. So these particular shapes consist of a large circle with a small bold shaded circle inside. And the circle inside touches the edge of the big circle. So we have one large circle with a small bold shaded circle inside touching the edge. So small circle inside is shaded, but it's touching the edge. Shaded means that it's got stripes.
Yeah. So it has to touch the edge, so it can't be B, C, or E.
Yeah.
And it has to have lines in it. And D doesn't have lines, so it's A.
A is correct. Well done. Good lad. Fantastic. Okay, now we've got one last one to do, and that's spellings. I think it is part 2. So let's just go there, and I'm just going to ask some random questions to people as we go along. So let's have a look here. So choose a letter below the group of words containing a spelling mistake, and if there is no mistake, then go for N. All right. So in this case, let's go to Ruby.
Hi.
Hello, Ruby. Hi there. Go ahead, Ruby.
I think it's A because climate has a B in it.
Well done, Ruby. Thank you so much. And let's go to the next one. Ruby, have a go at this one as well.
I think it's D because incredible is INCREDBLE.
Yeah. IBLE. Yeah. So the word incredible is spelled wrong. You're absolutely right. So in this case, we'll go for option D. Thank you for that, Ruby. And let's go to the next one. And let's go with Homera for this one. Hi, Homera, just read out the sentence. Yeah, Homera, I can't actually hear you properly. I can just about make out what you're saying. I can't really hear you properly. So I'll come back to you in a minute, all right? Let's go to Rian. Rian, if you just unmute yourself. Yeah, just press the button, Rian, when I ask you to press the button, please, kindly. Thank you. That's great. Well done. How are you?
I'm fine.
Okay, fine. Just read the sentence.
The demolition process was only partially completed, so half the flats remained in place.
Good. And can you see any spelling mistakes in this one, this sentence?
No.
No? I can't actually see either. So what are we going to go for?
E.
N. Okay, yeah, good. Which is option E. Well done. And let's do the next one together as well. Read the sentence.
Farmers in New Zealand rear an extremely large portion of world's lambs.
What do you think for this one?
B.
Yeah, because the word extremely is spelled wrong. It should be AXTREAMELY. All right. Rian, thank you so much. Thank you. And let's go on to question number 5 for this one. Okay, so with this one, we'll go to Faija. Hi, Faija.
Hi.
Hi there. Go ahead, read the sentence.
There was only one guest who arrived late. Luckily, all the others arrived punctually. I think it's going to be B because guest would be spelled like G-U-E-S-T.
Exactly. So guest will be G-U-E-S-T, but this is kind of like guessed in the sense that you've guessed something. So B is correct. Thank you so much, Faija. And we're going on to question number 6 now. Let's go to Anam and very quickly. Okay, girls, so read the sentence.
The young doctor dreamed of the day she would finally be able to open her own practice.
Mm-hmm.
Is it D?
Yeah, and why do you think it's D?
It's because it's not supposed to be this type of practice. It's the one that's supposed to have a C after
That's
the
correct.
I.
That's correct. So, for example, a dental practice or a doctor's practice or a optician's practice is spelled Practice, whereas, you know, right now we're doing 11 plus practice, and 11 plus practice is spelled with SE at the end. So D is correct. Well done, girls. Thank you so much. And let's go to question number 7, and let's go to Zarina for this one. Hi, Zarina.
Hi.
Go ahead.
I think the answer would be C.
Just read the question sentence first of all.
Darren was anxious to proceed, but the right occasion has not yet presented itself.
And why is it C?
Because occasion is not spelled correctly.
Yes, so occasion has double C in it as well. So you're absolutely right. So well done. Thank you, Zarina. Let's go to Anaya. Hi, Anaya. Hi, Anaya. Question number 8, please.
I think it will be B.
All right, read the sentence.
Mr. Smith was known as an agreeable and amenable fellow that loved his family.
And why is it B in here?
Because agreeable is spelled wrong.
Well done. Agreeable is spelled wrong because it's got 2 A's and it's actually supposed to have 2 E's. Let's do one more, Anaya, while you're here. Question number 9.
I think it's C. Because ledger is spelled wrong.
Ledger is spelled wrong. The diligent accountant maintained a ledger of all the company's transactions. A ledger is like a book where you have lots of accounts inside, numbers, money coming in, money going out, and you keep a record of all the money that's coming in and going out. Ledger is supposed to be spelled Ledger. So well done there for that. We've got 2 more questions left, and let's go to somebody who hasn't quite answered. So I think most of you answered. Humera, let's try you one more time, see if we can hear you. Humera, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Humera, read the sentence.
The camel wandered through the desert until night fell and it paused to take a rest.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be M.
Did you say A? N. For this one, the camel wandered through the desert until night fell and it paused to take a rest. I would say that this could actually be A as well, Hamira. This is actually probably the hardest question here. Could be A. Why do you think it could be A?
Is it because camel is spelled wrong?
Camel is fine. Have a look at, well, how do you spell wonder?
W-O-N-D-E-R.
Read that one more time.
W-O-N-D.
And how do you spell camel?
C-A-M-E-L.
C-A-M-E-L. Yes. Yeah, I can't actually hear you properly, Hamira. I'm sorry. I don't know whether you're answering the question at the moment or not, but in this case, we're going to go for wondered, which is going to be the correct, the incorrect spelling, right? Because it could be the other way around as well. Or you said before, I think I heard you said that it's N, because N, there was no mistake in this case. But let's just double check that as well very quickly. Let's go to Hisham. Okay, Hisham, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, Hisham, could you give us some light here, because I couldn't hear Hamira properly before. What do you think this could be?
I think it would be A, because wondered is spelled because this is the other. There's two types of wonder.
Yes,
This
yes.
one is the one when you're thinking, and
Yeah,
and the one it's meant to be is the one when you're like walking around.
that's right. So there are two types of wondered, and this one is the wrong wondered spelling there. Okay, so I'm not sure, Hamira, whether you said A before, but if you were right, then it's the right one. So Hisham, give us an answer for this one as well.
This one would be B.
Yep, well done. And let's do the final one as well.
And this one would be B as well.
And why is it B?
Because exercise is spelled wrong.
Because exercise is spelled wrong. So the last four letters of exercise should be C-I-S-E, but it says C-I-Z-E. So absolutely right. Well done. Thank you for that. Okay, kids, thank you so much. If I didn't select you this time around, I'm really sorry, because I know you wanted to answer a lot of these questions. There was a lot to get through today. I recommend that if you want more practice on the Maths 11 Plus and non-verbal reasoning, go back and watch the recorded lessons one more time, especially for the maths explanation as well. Going forward with the 11 Plus Maths, you'll have description boxes to actually make your life a little bit easier as well going forward as well. All right? So look after yourself, stay cool, take care. Bye-bye. See you on Thursday. Thank you.